What's going on, guys? Algin Estacio here with flightpath.com, and as you can see here, I have a table full of goodies, a little bit of everything. Of course, they're all drone related, and in this video, I just want to quickly talk to you about some of the things I've reviewed in the past, and a lot of people have been DMing me, also asking me questions about, hey, the holiday seasons are coming up. What should I buy for 50 bucks? What should I buy for 20 bucks? I have 100 bucks to spend for myself as well as some friends or family that are into drones. So in this video, I just want to quickly go through with you some of the products that I've been able to review and talk about in some of my previous videos. Hopefully this gives you guys some idea of what to get for yourself or for your friends and family for the holiday season that are all drone related. And Narbox was nice enough to give me this portable hard drive right here to give out to one of you guys. So make sure you guys stick around to the end of the video to see how you can win this drive. So if you're new to my channel, I do a lot of drone tips, tutorials, as well as product reviews. So if that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell to be notified when I post new videos. Now, of course, there's a ton of products on this table, and initially I was going to separate them out from like, 25 bucks to 50 bucks to 100 bucks. But some of these products really range all the way through those spectrums, and I didn't want to be that redundant on talking about the same filter or the same accessory that also crosses over into different price points. So what I'm going to do is on flightpath.com, I'm going to make a blog post about that and break everything down as far as price goes, so you're able to now watch this video, jump over there, see exactly how much each one of these products cost at this point, and get a little bit more information about each one if I have another separate video for them. Now this video is a little bit more geared towards those that already have a drone and looking at buying accessories for it, or a friend and family that has one and you're looking to buy maybe a gift for them for the holiday season. Now if you're looking at purchasing your first drone or purchasing a drone for someone else, I'm actually coming out with a drone guide video giving you guys my experiences with the DJI platform drones, all the way from the Spark, Tello, all the way to the Mavic Pro 2, the Zoom, Mavic Air, and Mavic Pro. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. That video will be dropping shortly. Just something to help you guys out while you're doing your drone shopping. Now, because there's so many products here, I'm not going to go into too much detail about every single one of them. I do have a lot of individual videos on that, and like I mentioned, if I do have a specific video that I've gone in depth with that product, I'll make sure it is linked above. Let's dive right in. This is going to be in no particular order, and I'll make sure everything I'm talking about here will be timestamped down below. So if you want to look at a specific product or a specific area, make sure you guys check out the timestamp, and then you can jump around and see if there's something that might interest you a little bit more than others. The first thing we'll do is just jump into some of the factory components that come with your drone, whether you buy the Mavic or the Mavic Air, the Mavic Pro, Zoom. Now here I have the Mavic 2 Pro, and the battery life is pretty solid on this one, but you're gonna always wanna pick up an extra set of batteries. Once you're up in the air, sometimes you might miss a shot, and sometimes you just wanna fly a little bit longer on that day. Having an extra set of batteries is a major thing to have, just as backup. Even though flight time is pretty good with the Mavic 2 Pro and the Mavic 2 Zoom, you get like 20-25 minutes. But if you bought something like the Spark or the Air, your flight time is really short. So once you start flying around a little bit, maybe you're starting to find those things you want to fly to and shoot, next thing you know, your battery is really short-lived. You're going to want to buy an extra set of batteries. So first and foremost, buy an extra set of batteries. Now, even though the Mavic 2 Pro and the Mavic 2 Zoom come with 8 gig internal, same with the Mavic Air, the one thing with that 8 gig internal is really good as a backup, but you don't want to depend on it, because if you're shooting 4K video, it will get eaten up really quick. What I like to do is buy a bunch of 32 gig or even a 64 gig card. A lot of people will just want to put in a huge card like a 128, but what I like to do is normally fly, I'll do one, maybe two batteries, and then I'll take that card out, swap out the card, put another one in, and then fly another 1 or 2 batteries. And the reason why I go with the smaller cards is that I just normally want to take it out, know I have the footage on me. That way, in case something goes wrong, I'm not dependent on having all my footage sitting on one card. I'm able to bring it back in, swap it out, swap out the battery, swap out the card, put it back up in the air. If anything were to happen with a drone, at least I know I have the initial first card or two that I was able to shoot that day. Right now, this is a 64 gig, but I really recommend buying a couple 32s, maybe a couple 64s. Really good to have, like I mentioned, just to have as a backup. You want to be able to swap out that memory card every battery or so, just to ensure that you're keeping some of your footage. Now, I've actually done a ton of reviews on filters, what they're used for, how to properly expose, how to use them, how to set it up. Make sure you guys check out that playlist above. There's a lot of videos on filters in general. But what you want to do is just have a nice collection of filters, a nice range of filters. These are neutral density filters. We have companies like Polar Pro. We have companies like Freewell Gear, PGY Tech, DJI makes their own. There's a couple other ones that I haven't been able to review, like Skyreet and a few other ones. So there's a bunch out there, and really what they're for is just to help you properly expose your video or photo when you're outside shooting. Now, the reason why there's a range of filters and not just one filter for all is because each one of the filters has a different strength to them, and what you want to do is choose the right strength in order for you to properly expose your image. And like I said, if you guys want to learn a little bit more about how to properly expose your image, make sure you guys check out those playlists above. But the one thing I would recommend is filters. These can range from anywhere from, you know, 20 bucks all the way up to a couple $100. Just it really depends if you're going to buy a single filter or if you're trying to look at buying a full collection or a full pack. They can range all the way up from like 20 bucks to 200 bucks. So make sure you guys check all these out. But ND filters are definitely a must-have when you're out there shooting video. Another accessory are landing pads. Now, I haven't really talked too much about landing pads, but I have been using them in some of my videos, mostly because you want to be able to take off and land in an area that is nice and smooth or nice and away from debris or dirt. And if you can't do that, you're going to want something like a landing pad that you're able to throw onto the ground. That way your drone can sit here, and when you're taking off, you're not going to be kicking up too much dust. And if you're landing it, you want to make sure you're landing it right on the pad so that no debris will start going into your motors, start going into your drone itself, or even onto your camera. Now, when it comes to landing pads, there's also a bunch of different types. There's this soft one like this that's kind of like a car sunshade style. And there's also big ones like this that are able to open up and are a little bit heavier that don't really blow away as easily. So there's a bunch of different styles of landing pads. And this one right here is from PGY Tech. And there's also one from Freewell Gear. There's a bunch of different sizes as well. Now, if you're also a commercial flyer, more than likely you probably already have something like this because you want to rope off like an area where you're flying. These kind of look pretty professional while you're flying, so gives you a little bit more added, I don't know, credibility, I guess, when you're out there. Plus, it gives it a marker, so if people are walking by, just lets you know that you're set up. You look a little bit more professional. I normally will just hand catch and hand launch when possible, but this is also nice and small if you want to throw these in your bag, throw these in your car. Nice to have just in some of those areas or some of those conditions where you're not able to take off on the ground and you're not able to hand launch it. The next product we'll talk about are portable hard drives. Now, I have a video coming up about my process and my workflow of how I'm able to take my drone footage, download them, back them up. But hard drives are really inexpensive now, and I really recommend you always doubling up on your hard drives. And depending on how you shoot, if you're a high-end commercial shooter and you're shooting, 100 gigs a job or a terabyte a job, more than likely you probably have some sort of workflow going. But if you're an average shooter and you're just shooting, going out there shooting some photos, some videos, some basic stuff, maybe coming back home, downloading 5, 10, 15 gigs worth of footage, whether it's a mixture of video and photos, you're going to want to pick up hard drives, and you're going to want to pick up 2 hard drives at the same time because you always want to be able to double back up your footage. Now, part of my workflow is really coming home, downloading all my footage onto one hard drive, sorting them out here, and then once I'm done that, duplicating it to a second hard drive. Now, this hard drive will normally likely stay at home, and I'll be able to bring this one out with me into the field. So hard drives are a big deal. You want to make sure you're always double backed up as far as hard drive space. And then what I do is that when I'm normally done with my project, I will upload either the final video or upload the final edited photos to the cloud. So it either goes to my Google Drive or it goes to my SmugMug account. Now, if you guys haven't seen my video on Gnarbox, now Gnarbox is actually one of those portable drives, which I really recommend as well, because this is the type of drive while you're still in the field. Now, these drives are really good if you're in the field and if you're able to whip out your laptop and make the download. But Gnarbox is what this is really a portable drive. So you're able to now open up these slots here and straight from your drone, pop in your memory card into this and back up directly to the drive itself. You don't need a computer. All you need is a mobile device to do that backup. And I believe in a Gnarbox 2, you don't even need a mobile device. You can just auto backup here because they have a screen interface that you're able to look at. But Gnarbox is a really good in the field solution for you to back up your gear so that if anything does go bad with your card, something goes wrong with your drone, you have a backup right here in the field. This one right here is 128 gigs. I know they're making larger ones for version 2. Make sure you guys check those out. Gnarbox is one of the popular in-field hard drive backup solutions right now. Now, almost all the smaller drones from DJI, like the Mavics, the Mavic Air, the Spark, all have a very similar form factor when it comes to the remote control, and they're all designed to hold a phone here at the very bottom of it. But if you're like me and you like to fly with something bigger, like a tablet, whether it's an iPad or an iPad mini, an Android device, you're gonna need something to hold that tablet in this mount right here. So companies like MavMount, even Freewell Gear, Polar Pro, they've all come out with these products to hold your tablet. So I like to fly with my iPad Air 2, which of course is a larger tablet that will not fit inside of these grips right here. These are really only meant to hold a phone and at the best maybe a really small tablet. But mounts like this right here is the MavMount. This is probably one of my most used ones just because it's built really well, but there's other alternatives out there like I mentioned. Freewell Gear has one. Polar Pro has one. There's a couple other ones also. I've done a lot of reviews on tablet mounts, so make sure you guys watch the videos on these. But really what this is designed to do is just be able to position a tablet right above your remote control. So once you have the tablet in place and installed, what it does, it gives you all of your information, all of your readouts. You're able to see all your video and photos through a large screen right here. And a lot of people, are worried about it covering the back screen or the remote control screen. Once you have a tablet or a phone in here, you really don't even use that screen at all, so it's not a big deal that it's covering it. Now, if you're like me and you like that bigger screen, these tablet mounts, of course, a must in order for you to mount it here to look at. I think there's a few other ones on the market that go from behind the remote and above. I just haven't tested those out yet. These are the ones I've been able to use, and overall, they're all pretty solid. And it's really just for you to use your tablet so you're not looking at a small phone that's sitting down below your remote. You're able to sit back here comfortably and watch your video or your photos on a nice large screen, and you're going to need something like a tablet mount in order for you to do that. These tablet mounts range from anywhere, I think about $30 to $40 all the way up to about $80. And you're really paying for, the build quality of it. You also want to know what type of mount you're going to be using for the type of device you want. So make sure you guys check those out. I'll leave all these links, like I mentioned, of course, in the description. So do your research on the types of mounts, watch the videos. I go a little bit more in depth, of course, about each one of them. Now, as far as price goes, they range anywhere between 30 to 40 bucks all the way up to about $70 to $80, just depending on the brand, depending on the build quality of each one. But luckily enough, all of them work on the remote controls for your Mavic Pro, your Air, your Spark. They all work the same. So make sure you guys check those out. And I have a bunch of other videos that go a little bit more detailed. So make sure you guys check out those videos above. Another accessory I normally carry with me if I'm in a car and I'm traveling to multiple locations is something like a battery backup. Now this is really just a portable, energy bank or a larger energy bank source. Now this one is from Energen. This is a DroneMax M10. Now this one's good for charging smaller batteries like the Mavic Pro, Mavic Air. They actually have their own custom cords that will charge each one of them up. Make sure you guys check their website because you just have to make sure that you are buying the right battery that's compatible for your specific drone. I don't believe at this time that they have anything for the Mavic 2 Pro yet, but I'm sure they will come out with those. But it's really just a larger battery bank. Now this one has custom ports for your specific battery, and it comes with custom cables for them. So this is one of the options. Another option that I also use is something like a Goal Zero, just to have in the field. I have something like this, which is a Goal Zero Yeti 400. Now this is something I'll just leave in the trunk if I know I'm going to be out there on a job site, or if I know I'm going to be flying while I'm traveling. So if I'm traveling from like here to San Francisco, here to LA, and I know I'm going to be flying a lot, I'll normally carry something like this with me just to keep it plugged in. while I go from location to location. This has, of course, an AC outlet here where I'm able to plug in and charge a couple of my batteries off that. But this is definitely an alternative. Now, one thing too is that a lot of people don't realize is that your remote control drains really fast as well. So what I normally will have is carry a bank like this. This one's from Anker. And what you have to do is actually just plug this into your remote control, or you even have something small, like a little small energy bank stick just like this, to keep your remote control charged, because your remote control surprisingly drains pretty fast. So having an extra power bank like this will keep your remote control charged. And even if your remote control is charged, now you can charge your device as well through your remote control. Now, if you're like me and you like creative lighting in your video or photos, LumeCube has mounts for your drone. This one's for the Mavic Pro. You attach your LumeCubes to it. PGY Tech also has landing gear extensions with flashlights that hook up to it. So you have a bunch of options if you want to add some light to your subject, or if you want to light up an area or do some creative lighting stuff. I actually have a bunch of videos on lighting up 2 Teslas, doing a full photo composition using the LumeCube ones and their mounts for the Mavic Pro. I'll link that above. And also I have a video on showing you the landing gear with lights from PGY Tech. That'll also be linked above. Make sure you guys check those out. It just gives you guys some ideas of what you could do with lights, as well as a little bit more information on how to mount them on there, how to use them, how I was able to use them. So some of the cool accessories you can add to your drone are lighting kits, and here's a couple of them right here. Now, this is one of the topics I've done a lot of reviews on, so make sure you guys check out the videos on other cases here. But just to quickly go through with you, there's a bunch of case manufacturers like PGY Tech, Go Professional cases. The one I like to use is even Lycus. This is more of a bag style, DSLR style case. But there's a ton of cases out there that are available for your drone. Now, the one thing with cases is that a lot of people like to either go really small. So if you like to pack something small, Ghost Scope has one for your Mavic Pro, as well as a couple other drones. You can really pack this into backpacks. If you like to go with something a little bit bigger than that, PGY Tech has a bunch of options for you to carry your drone, a couple batteries. Another one, if you like hard cases, GPC, PGY Tech has big hard cases for it. So if you're more for the commercial industrial side and you pack this along with a lot of other gear, these hard cases are a really good option. Or if you're like me, I kind of daily travel with mine. I just want to throw it in a bag, and I'll throw it into like a backpack like this style, which is from Lycus. Holds everything from your drone, batteries, accessories, iPads, and things like that. So I have a bunch of videos on drone cases. So if you guys want a little bit more detail on each one of these, I go into a lot of detail on my videos on those. Make sure you guys check out those links above. Now, a couple other things that you want to look into are just connectors. Like this is the PGY Tech connector. You're able to hook up a quarter 20 on here. And in my video, I was able to put a 360 camera on here, as well as a GoPro if you're looking at flying this onto your Mavic 2. PGY Tech and a few other companies have accessories for your Mavic Pro, your Spark, as well as your Mavic Air. So look into those if you like to add a couple of different types of accessories to it. Like I mentioned, this is a mount to hook up a quarter 20 to your drone. Here's a propeller holder for your Mavic 2. So if you put your drone in and out of your bag and you always find that it's catching onto the propellers, this is a little holder for it. So I have a list and a bunch of other accessories that you can buy for your drone that aren't necessarily, I would say, a necessity, but just some nice to haves and some other ideas you can look into if you're looking at purchasing some accessories for your drone. Now, thanks to Gnarbox, they're actually giving me an extra one of these hard drives to give out to one of you guys. Now, like I mentioned before, Gnarbox is one of those companies that made a portable hard drive, so while you're in the field, all you have to do is download the footage from your camera or from your drone, plug it into here, do an automatic backup. That way you have a safe place to store your video and photos. So in case something goes wrong, something goes corrupt with your camera, something goes corrupt with your drone footage, you have it backed up here. So thanks to Gnarbox, I'll be giving this away to one of my lucky viewers. Now, if you want to win this Gnarbox, I keep my giveaways pretty simple. I actually do want to hear from you guys. If you're an existing drone flyer, leave in the comments down below, what are the 1 or 2 must-have products, must-have things that, as an experienced flyer or a previous flyer, what you recommend. That way some of these new flyers out there can get some ideas of some of those must-have items. And if you're new, what are some of the cool things you just want to see? Do you want to see more about filters, more about lighting? Let me know down in the comments down below. But I'd like to hear from you guys. If you want to win this, just leave a comment. Let me know. Let the audience know what are those 1 or 2 things that you feel are the must-haves for any drone flyer out there. Can't wait to see what you guys write in those comments. And of course, I'm going to pick out a random winner from the comment section down below. So make sure you are commenting. Of course, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and the bell notification is turned on so you guys will know when I post new videos. And I'm going to do a very similar video like I did here, talking about everything from that Tello all the way up to the Mavic 2 Pro, giving you guys some overview. That way you have a little bit more information as you're doing your research for this holiday season if you're looking at buying a drone for yourself or looking at buying it for somebody else. As always, if you guys got some value from my video, don't forget to smash that like button, hit the subscribe, and also hit that bell notification to be notified when I post new videos. This is Aljo Stasio with FlightPath.com. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.